Hi, I'm Guber, and welcome to another episode of Anything But Authentic. Today, I'm gonna fuse shepherd's pie with the Japanese gyoza to make shepherd's pie gyoza. Let's start with making the mashed potato. Place around 1 pound of large cubes of potato in a medium pot on high with cold water and 1 teaspoon of salt. Cover and let it come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, uncover, lower the heat to medium, and cook for around 12 minutes or until the potatoes become tender. After the potatoes are cooked, drain them and mash them up using either a potato masher, potato ricer, or even a fork. I personally like using a potato ricer since it gives a smoother consistency. Once the potatoes are all mashed, add around 2 tablespoons of butter and give it a little mix until all the potatoes are melted. It helps to cut up the butter into small pieces to make it easier to melt with the residual heat from the potatoes. Once the butter is melted, add a 1/4 cup of whole milk and a 1/4 cup of heavy cream and mix until everything is well combined. The mixture may seem liquidy at first, but trust me, the potato starch will eventually thicken everything up. Once everything is well combined, season them with a little bit of salt and pepper to your liking, and set it aside. Then we move on to making the beef filling. In a non-stick skillet over medium-high heat, add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, half a pound of ground lean beef, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Break the beef up and cook for around 4 to 5 minutes. If you prefer to use impossible meat instead, feel free to do so. After the beef is cooked, remove it from the pan using a slotted spoon or spatula. We want the juicy grease from the beef to lend its flavor to the veggies. Then add around 1 cup of diced onion along with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and cook for around 7 to 9 minutes. Then add 1 clove of chopped garlic and cook for 30 seconds. Then return the beef to the pan and let everything mingle for around 1 to 2 minutes. Now add around a 1/4 cup of red wine and cook for 1 to 2 minutes. If you don't want to use red wine, you can use additional beef or vegetable stock instead. Then add around 1 tablespoon of tomato paste and cook for another minute. Then add in a 1/4 cup of beef stock or vegetable stock, 1.5 teaspoon of Worcester sauce, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, half a teaspoon of dried rosemary, and half a teaspoon of dried thyme. Mix until everything is well combined and cook for another 2 to 3 minutes. Then add around 1 cup of frozen vegetables. Let it cook for another 2 minutes, then season it with some salt and pepper to your preference and take it off the heat. Before we move on to making the gyoza, let's make the sauce. In a bowl, combine a 1/3 cup of rice vinegar, half a cup of low sodium soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of Worcester sauce, 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, 2 minced garlic cloves, half a teaspoon of minced ginger, and a 1/3 cup of chopped green onions. Stir until everything is well mixed, set it aside, and let it sit for at least 15 minutes. Then we move on to making the gyoza. Grab a piece of gyoza or dumpling wrapper, place a little bit of mashed potatoes on the bottom, then add a little bit of the beef mixture on top of the mashed potatoes. Using your finger, lightly wet half the outer rim of the wrapper with water. Then fold the wrapper in half. Using your fingertips, make pleats to seal the dumpling. Don't get frustrated if you don't get it right away, it'll come with practice. Repeat with the remaining wrappers and filling. Before we fry the gyoza, let's make the slurry mixture. Combine a 1/4 cup of water and 1 teaspoon of flour. Mix until everything is well combined, then set it aside. Then let's fry the gyoza. In a small pan, add around 1 tablespoon of oil and place around 8 gyoza around the pan. Let it fry for 1 to 3 minutes. Then add the slurry and cover. Steam the gyoza until the water has mostly evaporated, which should take around 5 to 8 minutes. Remove the lid and continue cooking until the water is completely evaporated. Take the gyoza out and serve it with a little bit of the sauce we made earlier. And there you have it, a crispy, hearty, and comforting plate of shepherd's pie gyoza. Delicious.